So I'm back. If you guys are watching, just subscribe at the bottom and follow. I usually don't say that, so now I'm going to start saying that. And I'm here doing the weekly review. We're going to go check out the top projects, the CNFTs for Cardano for the last week. And number one is Ada Ape Society. So this minted for 99. They're a DAO. Wow, the floor is around almost 700. The art looks like this. These guys made $100,000 ADA sale. So the number one ranked ape, forget his name, it's like Medvedisi, is like the family of the highest ranked apes, sold for 100,000. The number like 6 ranked sold for 25,000. And then they're constantly making tons of sales. Look at I just clicked this. This is 8 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago. They're not all floor. Like they're all big sells. So that's finally dethroned the cats. Let's just take a look at one of their chart. It's just, man, look at the 7-day chart. And they've really only been out 3 days. So yeah, wow, rights are selling for 2,500. So yeah, they have dethroned the cats, the boss cats. But the boss cats are still number 2. They have their big mint coming up on February 13th. It's like land to their metaverse, so you can mint planets, or they're gonna have planets. I don't know. I don't think a metaverse is just, you can't just like, oh, our next mint's a metaverse. But I mean, you got to give them credit. They're still at the top. So 225. What's their floor? Their floor is dropping a little. It's 26. They're making sales though for how expensive. They're making enough sales to sustain. Wow, one sold for 1,800. How did that happen? But yeah, so they've been at the top for a while. They've got their drop coming 213. Yeah, their floor is 2,600. So I don't think much new is going to happen until. Yeah. A lot of these projects, not that much new is going to happen. Pavia, it's in the same way. They have a 600, 700 floor, so they shot up to 900, and now they're coming back and settling at a nice base of 700. Remember, people are going to wait till they mint the next 40,000 parcels of land, which is coming this month sometime. They said this month. Now the rocket parts, they've all been converted into rocket ships, I'm pretty sure. So now it's just rocket ships, and they sell. Oh, wait, no. Some have been converted and some haven't. So the rocket ships fully converted, they're selling maybe every 6 hours for a lot, 18,000, 17,000. I mean, if you own these rocket ships, you're whitelisted into that other mint. The same as if you own like a top 1,000 cat. And then there are some parts that are still selling. And supposedly these rocket ships are going to be used on their metaverse. So yeah. I mean, you got to give Boss Cats credit. They made this fun the community's into it. They're getting tattoos. Did I cover Space Buds? Space Buds is just Space Buds. They're 6K floor now. Look, if you want to buy a CNFT and you have the money, you just buy Space Buds. It's like Bitcoin or Ethereum or something, or Cardano. It just outperforms. You don't see it outperform, but it does. Like their floor just a month ago was like 3,500, and it's like they didn't make any new announcement, they didn't make anything, and their floor is 6,000. It's just like, if you have it, for the risk reward, for how like low risk they are, the reward is good. It's really good. So yeah, I mean, you can't. Always impressed by how well the Space Buds is. Now this is a surprise. Both of these, we'll do one at a time. Paper Society. It was a new mint yesterday. And I almost minted it, but then I was just like, oh, what? Not that one. And then I was like, it looks different and stuff, but I've just been minting too much stuff lately, so I just kind of didn't have time. I've had enough mints, but they're like 10 or 20 above mint price, which is pretty decent a day later, and they're making a lot of sales, but they kind of picked up slowly because right after mint, they didn't like take off right away, but it looks like they're kind of taking off, which is surprising me. I did not expect to see him at 6. So I don't know much about them. They just minted yesterday. Same with OG Bears. They just minted yesterday. Or was it even today? It was yesterday, and the paper was 2 days ago. And OG Bears is like 5 above mint price, but there's a lot of volume. So it's just showing you can still go. What? Do I really have to put the periods? Where are these things? What? OG Bears. Do I just have to go find one on the front page? There they are. Oh, there's no space between OG and Bears. So let's see if they're making any big sells. 269. Oh, 650. For this guy, he's got the eyes. That's why. I don't know. These three, I'm not a fan of 3D, but that's not my job. It's like the market is doing what the market does. I wouldn't be surprised if these shoot up after mint, have a day or two, and then they just can't sustain, and they fall back below mint price. Kind of like the retro aliens. Because it's just too much. You can't sustain everything. Now, Lazy Llamas has been in the top 10 lately. They released their new Lazy Paper 2.0. So it's showing what all the serums are going to do. You're going to get to mutate your llamas, do some cool stuff, different types of mutations. So the serums are really flying off the shelf. The llamas are flying off the shelf. The carriers are flying off the shelves. The rare blood types are flying off the shelves. In my opinion, the best value, because there's like 500 or 700 carriers, and those always sell for 4 figures. But they've alluded to like the blood types doing stuff, especially with backgrounds. And the rarest blood type, blood type. See, the rarest blood type, so there's AB plus at 95, and there's AB minus at only 53 out of 5,000 llamas. That blood type, I mean, see, these are the prices I would think, because there's 53 of them total, but there'll always be like a straggler. Like that guy for 1,300, that's cheap for AB minus, and people are buying carriers for 2,000. And yeah, the Lazy Paper is more specific on carriers mutating, but it does allude that blood types will play a role. So I would not sleep on AB minus blood types. But yeah, that's basically what's driving the market on Lazy Llamas. See, their serums are even number 10. And those have gone, look, 400. Those have gone from like 80 floor to like 400 floor. Everyone wants to mutate their llama. Rats DAO, they finished their launch. They actually, so they did the 1,000 Genesis, then they did the 3,000 governance tokens. Then they were going to do another 3,000, another 3,000. Instead, they just decided to do all 6,000. And they raised the price of them from 100 to 150 for minting them. So they minted them for 150. It took them a couple hours, but they sold out all 6,000. And now they have 883,000 ADA in their treasury. So there's going to be votes on how to spend it. But yeah, you can go buy a governance token for like 200 ADA, and you'll own a share of this treasury. You'll own 1/10,000th of it. So 1/10,000. I mean, I'm bad at math. 10,000 times 10 is 100,000. So yeah, it's like they're worth 100 right now. Well, more than that because like 130 and they're selling for like 180. But if you expect, these NFTs to go up, they're going to pay you out. They're royalties. So it makes sense. Yeah, they got these new clay buds. These clay buds are cool because look at the animation here. He lasered it. He's lasering it. Bink. And that's cool. That's on Pool PM. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to buy. It's probably going to be some sort of combination of space buds and clays and dead pixels. But yeah, there's going to be a vote. There's a bunch of new people in there with their governance tokens trying to get them to vote on other stuff. So I don't think it's going to get through, but we'll see. So yeah, then there's dead pixels. They shot up to 1600 floor because they're going to do a play to earn game. And their play to earn, basically it's kind of like going to be like an Axie style game. And the people are going to be able to build with traits. So they're going to be able to make their own dead pixels with traits that aren't on the blockchain. It's for the game. But if they use traits from a dead pixel you own, like one of the original 10,000 you own on the blockchain, you get paid. So it's like, since you own that dead pixel and they want to make a dead pixel for the game with one of the traits that your dead pixel has, you get paid. So it's pretty cool. I'm not sure exactly how, but there's like a whole calculator and stuff. So yeah, that's the top 10 for the week. Chilled Kong's at 16. Let's look at some surprises. Chilled Kong at 16 has dropped down, but their floor is fine. You know what? The market's really healthy. Their floor is at 670 and they're at 16. It's just like, there's a lot more projects, but we're able to support them all. Board Club, that was a flavor of the week, but their floor is still fine. So it's not like they're really dropping. Look at Clay Nation is at 21. Oh, Zombie Hunters, they did something cool this week. So, see, this is a one of one, this Buffy the Vampire Slayer zombie. And they were kind of hinting at like which ones were one of ones, but they finally released their one of ones, which were hand drawn by the artist, Brian Allen, pretty famous artist. They were hand drawn by him, the one of ones. Then he used the one of ones to make the 10,000 collection by all the different traits, mixed and matching. And he drew about 50 something one of ones. But what else they did that was pretty cool was each one of one has a set of 4, or most of them. There's like a couple that don't, but 90% of the one of ones have a set of 4. So he showed you an example right here of how they have the same weapons in each hand, the same outfit, and the same hair, but their skin changed here. So now he showed you all the different one-on-ones, and you got to go find their +4. And people found the +4s pretty quick using CNFT tools and stuff. You could find it pretty. Like, I'll show you an example. It's pretty fun to do. It made it like a nice collector thing for the game for the NFT. It was like something fun to do. It spurred a lot of buying. Now people who own the one-on-one are trying to like collect sets. So let's see. Let's do this crazy redneck. So you'd see that he has a pitchfork in his left hand. Not always both weapons are the same, but usually one weapon's the same. And he has a mullet, and he has hick clothes. So if you wanted to find his set, you would just go like left weapon pitchfork. You go gender, male, clothes. I mean, this is what I did to find the sets. And I was able to get some pretty good. Now the sets are kind of expensive. Each part of the set, the one-on-ones are like 5,000 at least. Oh, redneck. See, it starts to narrow it down. And then you go, oh, his hair. And you can see this guy's probably in the set, but he doesn't have the rifle in the right hand. Because you could already see it. It's these, this. So you go, oh, it's the hair then. And so then you go, hair, it's like a mullet. Bam, that's perfect. Here's the original 1-on-1. Here's the +4. So even this this guy who looks really similar, he even actually, see that, this guy was pretty cool because he randomly got the same gun, and it was random. He got it by random because you didn't have to get the same gun. They force coded the clothes, the necklace of the zombie ears, and the mullet hair, and the pitchfork. But he randomly got the same gun. But yeah, this is the 1-on-1 right here, and then this is his 4. So yeah, and you could do that for all of these. I mean, we could do Wesley Snipes Blade. So the 1-of-1 is like, that's obviously Blade, right? See, he can't say they're Blade, but this is like a Han Solo type of guy. This is like a Blade. So let's do Blade. So it would be male, gender male, clothing vampire hunter or something. What would they call it? They would probably call it superhero? No. Oh, vampire hunter for sure. All right. And then, so then he had this, you can look and you see like, oh, vampire fang's mouth. See, this is part of the set for sure. It's not the original 1-of-1, but it's part of the set. He has a flat top, and the left weapon is a blade. So let's see, blade. All right, blade. Oh, that already found it right away. I didn't even have to input flat top. So the original 1-of-1 is right here, because the guide showed us. He's down here. That was hand drawn. And then you can find the +4. So after that guide came out, everyone was looking for these, and it was pretty fun. Now the +4s are pretty expensive too. Yeah, see, one weapon to do the same, the other weapon doesn't have to be the same. It's usually the left-hand weapon that's the same too. And the eyes are different. Flat top's the same. The hair is the same. The hair is usually the same. All right, so anything else? That's about it for the week. I am going to be covering my upcoming mints, weekly upcoming mints, either tomorrow. So look out for a video probably tomorrow night. So far, there's one mint I'm really hyped about. So it's 1 mint. So I might only be 1 mint on this next video. There might be 1 to 2 mints, but maybe only 1 mint. So I'll cover it tomorrow. And you want to look out for that because I'm excited for that mint. And that's what's going on in the CNFT world this week. And I'll be back next week. Thank you.